YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV. Tim Westwood TV up at Capital XTRA. Yo, Agent Sasco, good to have you back, fam.
Yeah, man, respect. Always a pleasure.
You're back for Carnival?
Well, kinda. So I'm in town for talking to people like yourself about my new album.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the big talk right now. And it's great to have you back in town. We were just reminiscing that freestyle with Spice.
Yeah. That was crazy.
That Panani was amazing. I mean, you really I was surprised. I don't think Spice has ever experienced somebody ride that Panani. I mean, you absolutely smashed it.
Massive. You need to check it out. Yeah, smashed it. That's what we do. We're like
pow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Panani
abuse.
You beat it,
yeah,
to be honest.
Panani abuse.
Abuse. It was, yeah. I mean, I think the look on Spice's face at the time was amazing. She was like, she did not know what was beating that Panani like that.
It wasn't no ramping.
Yeah. The ramping shop was definitely open.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And all day.
And you was first in the queue. Seriously, you were there, cashing in, man. Respect. And I thought, let's be honest, Spice held her ground.
And of course, of course, salute to Spice. I mean, we definitely love what she's doing.
Love what she's doing.
Representing the culture.
Yeah,
so big up
absolutely.
Spice.
And speaking of the culture, man, Hope River is a big moment. Now, winning right now, one of the greatest records of the year, man.
Mm-hmm. Just incredible. Definitely blessed to still be, representing music that I love so much, and to be, still ascending and lifting the bar year after year.
Yeah.
And this project represents that very much to me.
I mean, what is interesting about winning right now? To me, you could play that any form of dance, man. You could play it in a dub dance for the dreads, and it means something to them.
Yeah.
You could play it in a hardcore dance hall, and it'll mean something to the gangsters.
So guess what? That's the kind of music I'm pursuing, where it's all inclusive and universal in that way, where it can appeal to people.
Exactly.
Full stop. Just appeal to people.
Exactly, and it crosses all genres of reggae music, man.
All genres, all demographics, just everything. So I think that's the ultimate, pursuing a brand of music that is undeniable and unrestricted.
And how did you feel? What is the message of winning right now?
Winning right now is saying, listen, celebrate your circumstances and understand that you are winning. Because you can find reasons, you define your own wins. And so you can find reasons to be thankful for, no matter what your circumstances are. It's actually my wife who demanded, I guess, commissioned the song. She said, songs about winning and celebrating like that are usually...
birthday songs.
No, but it's like almost always aspirational.
Yes.
Looking forward to a time when I'll be winning. Like wait till I get. Almost like
wait till I get to heaven.
Wait till I get my money right. You know what I mean? So
coming, baby.
So winning right now was pretty much saying like, whatever my circumstances are right now, I'm going to celebrate them.
Living your best life right now, fam.
Right now. Winning right now.
Yeah, respect that, man. And the way that kicks in, man, I mean, like the beat, like when you put that together, like when you cooked up in the studio, how did you feel, man?
So I had the idea for the song. I didn't bother to try to like put it together fully. I just knew that what the idea was. And then I got the track from Upsetter through Tara. And when I heard the track, I realized like it's a perfect fit for the idea that I had. The drums, just felt very powerful and majestic. I like that African flavor that it had. And then, as a matter of fact, the record came out with the stereo that they sent me. Because when we requested the full breakdown of the rhythm to go in and do a full mix. Yeah. We just recognized that the magic was already in it. So that's what you're hearing is actually just the stereo.
Perfect.
Incredible.
Yeah, and sometimes when something just works, you've got to leave that magic alone, man.
Of course, absolutely.
Like, don't try and overcook it, man.
No, don't overcook the rice. That's my doctrine right there. Don't overcook the rice. If it's working,
don't overcook the jerk rice. Yeah. You've got to be careful with the jerk rice.
Yeah, man.
Exactly, because that will stick to the bottom of the pan.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I've been fortunate enough to work with some of the legends of our music, from Celia and Clevie. I mean, being in Penthouse Records early in my career. Jammies, that heritage right there. And, a lot of the stories that we hear during that time is like how many massive records were, like, for example, I hear from Steely like some, I think it was No, that was a demo, actually. and that's the one that hit, like the demo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We hear from Shaggy tell me, like with It Wasn't Me, Rick Rock actually sang his part as a demo for somebody else to sing, and that became the record. So you know, sometimes if it works, it works.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you overproduce something, you've lost where you come from, man.
That's the
and
magic.
it might sound perfect, but it doesn't have that magic.
That thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you've got history, man. I remember you on the 85 rhythm.
Yeah.
Do It. Idiot Tinged Out, still one of my favourites.
Yeah,
on that.
Diwali rhythm.
Yeah, Diwali.
Good to go all the time.
That was a magical era of dancehall.
Of course. And
that was really at a time you, Elephant Man, artists like that was just...
Yeah, you know, on the surge. And you know what? I was very young then. I started my career at like 17. And so I think right now what's very interesting to me is that I've, you know, all this history, and I'm still, you know, fresh and ready to go. And I know that my best work is ahead of me. You know, beginning with like the Theory of Reggaetivity, which is my last project, and then now Hope River. You know, I know that, you know, now I have a studio in my basement. You know, I'm recording in my PJs, man. So soon I'll be recording on PJs. Get it? You know, PJs like PJ. You know, you figure it out.
Went way over my head. Now the thing is, right? The thing is, let's be real about it. Those early Kingston days of recording when you were 17, the hustle was intense.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
course.
having been to those studios in that time,
well,
with like the outer gate and then the inner gate, and
you know that?
Yeah,
like several levels,
like several levels.
Like
to
you
get
have
in,
outside
man.
of the road, and then you have inside in the yard, and then you have to get inside.
On the inside, like jammies, they'd be like
10
doing
gates.
women's hair. They'd be doing women's hair, like, you know what I mean. The women would be having their hair done.
You had to earn your way. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? The first time I got the chance to go around the microphone was at King Jammy's studio, and it was something like 3 a.m. because, of course, you know, Jammy's need him studio in the good hours for the way I do. So somebody like, you know, a young you trying to you know, get some studio time, it have to be like, you know, when dog gone sleep. You know what I mean? But you know, you definitely. It forced you to come with material that would force people to give you
absolutely
better time. You know what I mean?
And you got one chance as well.
Yeah, and it was like, this is a 24-track tape. I'm talking about what we now call the dinosaur.
Yeah,
you know, over in the corner of the room.
The 2-inch.
Yeah, you know, and of course these were expensive tapes, and you can imagine, you know, for somebody to, you know, give you that prime real estate on their tape, you better be bringing it. So, you know, you had to earn your way in that time, and I'm very grateful that I benefited from that sort of
real, man.
That sort
and
of
it was
process.
often in those days it was one take, one time.
No, well, no, you could punch it just at dub plates, like at Arrow Studios.
You're
Arrows, cutting to the plate.
You cut to the plate.
Yeah,
absolutely, you cut to the plate.
There's no joke with that. Yeah, like you have to get it done.
I remember watching Beanie Man cut. And I think he was doing it for either German or Japanese sound, and he was just doing the dub, and then he was like, got the bit of paper to try and find the name. It was like, yo, fam.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And then you have some guys in the background giving backup and man and whistle.
Exactly.
Yeah, blah, 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 shut up, boss. Yeah, I mean,
and sometimes they'd mix you down live. They're just mixing you down live.
Of course, that, you know what I mean. Well, put it this way. I fell in love with the music when I was very young, like 3.5, 4 years old, and I used to like be on the sound system down the road from my yard, you know, on the banks of the Hope River, just the same in Kintyre, like, you know, riding rhythms, and sometimes the records are warped up, and so you know, the speed is fluctuating.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You have to dip on the rhythm, and, you know, man, and mix, and, you know what I mean? That's just, you can't get no more authentic than that. And like I say, I feel very blessed to be born at a time and to I've fallen in love with the music when I did, to benefit from, you know, from some of that. Oh, we must lock up now.
Oh, my days.
I mean, you know, yo, is that right? No! Look how it is. Jesus, man. Hold on, let me just. What do you?
Kiss Mike. Okay, now, I remember mastering at Jammies on a cassette tape. Bringing that shit home on a cassette tape.
Or at that.
Yeah, on a cassette tape. I was obviously in the cheap studio, but on a cassette tape. And then taking it to like the dub cutter over here to like...
Yeah, it's fun times.
And then you 4 tracks on a 10-inch.
Yeah. For the dub plate, and you flip it over. So you have 2 on each side.
Flip it over, man.
You know what's up. Yeah.
And could be confusing as fuck. Like where's the trucks? I mean, and the box would be so heavy, man. You got to respect that, man.
Yeah,
the most resourceful people in the world, Jamaicans, man.
Yeah, well, you know, give thanks. Once again, it's a blessing to benefit from that sort of heritage and that sort of upbringing. We speak about a lot of that on the album as well.
Yeah,
Hope River is very much about that.
Hope
growing
River,
up,
man. So that's neighborhood for you.
Yeah, that's so. I grew up in Kintyre, and the Hope River runs through, along the community of Kintyre. There's Tavern as well. Capital is across the river in Tavern. And you have Augustone where Sizzla is from. So all of that is along the Hope River, and this album is speaking about my experiences then, and also explaining, I guess, a lot of the things that shape the person I am today. And then outside of that, content-wise, to me, it represents a river of hope.
Yeah.
It's it's a lot of like winning, inspirational kind of vibes, and people can get more from it than just entertainment.
And this is you as a grown man now, as a grown artist, man who's been in the game for a long time. This is where you feel.
I've grown a lot over the last few years as a person more than anything, and then as an artist, naturally, that growth is going to be reflected in my work. My values have somewhat been fine-tuned and refined, and certainly with new responsibilities, being a father and a husband.
Exactly. Congratulations.
It put things into perspective in a very different way.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I've had to challenge my way of dealing with things and navigating these things that we all have to navigate. And I've come across just a new perspective. And I really want to share that with people. So like even the attitude of gratitude, where I see a situation nowadays, it's absolutely just different from how I would view it like 5 years ago. And I share that perspective with people, So I'm looking for the positive in a situation. I'm looking to see the glass as half full versus half empty, that sort of vibe.
Yeah.
And this album is very much about sharing a lot of that. And already I'm seeing where people appreciate that sort of content, and people let me know in the comments like, yo, I play Winning every day before we like, people play it for their children, like there are comments like, yo, we play it in the car before my son goes to school and I go after work. That's powerful. I mean, if I can do that with music, then that's ultimate fulfillment for me. So once again, this project represents a lot of that,
because in music, all types of music now, there's a lot of different types of lyrics now, not a lot of conscious, not a lot of inspirational music. A lot of it's just party and fun. Exactly.
And you know what? I've also grown enough to understand that that's fine, and there's a place for that, and I don't have to be, you can buy that from another shop. I know what I'm selling.
Exactly. And you've been there and done that.
Exactly. I've grown through that, and I appreciate it. Like I enjoy that sort of content. But
and 10 years later, if you were doing the same thing as an artist, there wouldn't have been that progression there.
No. I fully endorse authenticity, and very much I'm about that. And right now, I'm all about being authentic in terms of, as a person, and then, in my career, I want to, represent that as well. And so, like I said, these things that I speak about on these records are things that I live by. I'm not just saying something because, let me represent this on the record. No, it's things that I truly live by. And like I said, that's where I get my real fulfillment. And in terms of content, lyrically, I'm very much a student of the music, but at the same time, I love, wordplay and going several levels deep, even if people will never get it. But I want to have fun with the work that I'm doing. And so, when, like, for example, like on the line that goes, never born rich, never born poor, like sun on the beach, our blessing is sure. And then when you start to delve in a line like that, is so your blessing is sure, like S-U-R-E, but it's sure like the seashore.
Exactly.
But then you are sure to find sand on a beach. So it's like it's on several levels. Where, what I mean? So things like that, I enjoy that. Like that's where I have my fun now. If somebody will never get that when they listen to the track, all right, but you know what? I had fun doing it.
But whether you get it or not, it still resonates.
So it's several layers again. There's the authenticity of it and the sincerity of it that people will connect with. There's no faking real, like you just can't. And so, that will resonate with people, and I'm seeing that. So, for example, when Winning came out, oh my God, goosebumps! I'm crying right now. People will, it's that sort of thing where it affects you in a deeper way, because it's going to the core of an experience that we all face. Like, there are certain things that make us all similar. When we're in a world right now where it seems to be always pointing out the differences, there are things that are universal, and we all feel that, and we have similar aspirations and dreams and fears and doubts. And so when you have material that is dealing with that in a real way, people connect to it.
Yeah, for real, man. And it means so much, man. We're looking forward. Obviously, Banks of the Hope is there. Change is there. A lot of good music to come, man.
Yeah.
And good luck with the album. And it's good to have you making more music, because you had that lull in between Gully Sitting and the theory of negativity.
Finding myself. I had to do a lot of growing up in that time. There was one time I thought of the idea of, maybe finding something else to spend my time doing. I got to that level.
What caused that?
I think when I look back at it, I think I was frustrated because I wanted to pursue a kind of music and I wasn't doing that, and so I spent a lot of time in that space of wanting to do X but I'm doing Y, and then wondering why you're not finding fulfillment in it. Well, guess what? This is not what you really want to do, and so I had to walk in that. And then even now I have people going, but boy, me love the Assassin days and that's great. But I started that at 17, man.
Exactly.
I'm twice that now. And,
so was that the transition then between Assassin and Agent Sasco?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what that was about. And like I say, I had to go through that to appreciate now. Like, there was a period of like 4 years, man. I was really going through it. My 30th birthday was the worst day of my life, like really was. And I lost my mother at 23, and that was you can imagine the kind of experience that was. My mother being very close to me, and we talk about that on the project as well. But yeah, the worst day of my life was turning 30. I think I ascribed a certain significance to the age 30 because when I was born, my parents were 30, and so I guess subconsciously growing up, that
30 is a key date. Yeah.
You know what I mean. But so it wasn't like, oh, I'm fine, and then it's my birthday, and then all of a sudden I'm in the pits. No, it was sort of the lowest point of a low period, of going through those frustrations and whatnot. And so coming out of that, it's like I have a certain veil that's been lifted, and I can see just so clearly what my purpose is and the kind of music that I want to do, and how I want to go about it. So like building a studio, I knew was key in terms of the kind of music that I need to do, and how I need to explore my talents, and continue to develop my talents and maximize my potential. Like I had to go through all of that to know for sure. Like no. This is what I want to do.
This is who you are.
Yeah.
And who you define yourself as an artist and as a person. Yeah, because you can't be, you being a very truthful artist, you can't be making music which is false to you.
No. Like I say, I've been to the stage of making music because the market demands it to some extent. I have totally divorced all of that. You know what I mean? Like, my creative process now does not include, this should sell. No, it's not about that. I'm going to share it with you, and if it resonates, then great, we all win. But and so being independent as well as an artist is key to me. Because now I don't have to deal with anybody telling me about, you would really appeal to this demographic over here, and because what I mean, and therefore, the ladies will love you. Why don't you take your shirt off and then show those, no. Where I'm at and where I find my fulfillment is exactly where I'm going to stay, and that's how I'm going to do it.
It's powerful, man. Powerful. Where are you living at the moment?
I live in Jamaica, in the parish of St. Andrew, Stony Hill.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, maybe it's some good karma is coming my way because the last album to win a Grammy is Stony Hill.
Yes.
Ooh.
Let's enjoy that. So, and the studio in the crib is so important to just like make music all day.
Yeah, but put it this way: what I realized with having the studio is that you get to create when you're feeling creative. When you have to book time in a studio, what happens is you try to channel your creativity or summon your creativity in that time, right? But what if this is not, if the stars are not aligned in the right way right now? And so, you know, having my own space to create, like literally, like I say, I'm downstairs in my pajamas, just like, yo, you know, just vibing.
Jamming, yeah.
You're most comfortable, number one. And when you're comfortable in the creative process, it allows you to try things and to, you know, without being conscious of it. You know, when you're in certain settings, you know, you may be, you know, conscious of, you know, somebody that's coming at the studio, broke your vibes.
Yeah.
They might tell you, say, oh, there's a next session afterwards.
Exactly.
Could you wrap it up?
Exactly.
That sort of
and
thing.
you've got to come away with something as opposed to just put some ideas down. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, so it has
Sounds
been very
perfect, man.
powerful
Yeah.
to you know, have that and recognize that. And so all of that, like I say, is coming out of being in a place where I knew what, I recognized all the things that I didn't want. So it was clearer to recognize the things that, okay, I know what I want.
It sounds like you're just in a great place as an artist, man.
As a person.
As a person,
let me tell you. And like I say, it is very much about sharing this with people. Like, I'm not here trying to be like, oh, live my best life ever, and you know, hope that you don't find it. I genuinely would love for people to even just grasp some of these concepts that keep me going. You know, like I said, the attitude of gratitude, it is automatic. When you're, you know, or you wake up sometimes and you're just not feeling your best, count 5 things that you want to be grateful for, and it is immediate. It is automatic that it will change your vibe. It must. It must. Try it. It must. 5 things. Okay, you know what? I'm alive. You know, give thanks for that.
I'm healthy.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or whatever it is, if you can find 5 things to give thanks for, then it starts to improve your vibe. I've had situations with people close to me that, you know, we start to, you know, share these ideas, and then they start to tell me, like, you know, how much things have, you know, starting to transform, because, you know, you create your reality. And the thing is, we hear these things all the time, and it sounds like some kind of fantastic science, but it's the truth, man. It is the absolute truth. You create your reality. You can determine the same situation. The water is here in the glass. How do you look at it? I say it's half empty. No, no. It's halfway to the top. You know what I mean? It's almost there. Like, you really get to choose how you see things, and it's powerful.
Yeah, all on that, your own perception and outlook, man.
Yeah.
Respect that, and I know that will be reflected in the music, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, Hope River, check it out.
Sounds powerful, man. You've been with some big artists, man.
Oh, yeah.
In some collabs with Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West.
You know what those represent to me? Those features, or, you know, collabs,
features,
or whatever you want to call them. What those represent to me is that I know I can represent my art form on the biggest platforms of music, and so, like I said, the work that I am to do, which is ahead of me, I know that I'm comfortable and confident enough that I can represent the art form in those spaces. So, like, being on a record with Kendrick Lamar and representing not just as a Jamaican vibe on it, but to lyrically have some potent contribution, means more to me than, oh, yo, you're the on a tune with Kendrick. Like, it's more than that. It's you know, like I say, you know, we can give a good account of ourselves and a good account of this music. And, you know, of course, we hear the talk all the time about, you know, what's happening with reggae and dancehall. You once again choosing my perspective. It's ripe for the picking, and, you know, we just have to stay ready and to, you know, try to take advantage of the situations whenever they come.
Excellent, man. And you smashed down Carnival, jumped on so many sets, so many sound systems, and just was out there winning, man. And shout out to Spragga Benz over as well.
Oh, man, let me tell you, that was magical. There's a video of from the perspective of, like, where Spragga was standing. And I'm on the stage and I'm doing my bit, and then, like, I don't know how somebody got my attention. And when I look around and I saw him, there's a video of my reaction. Yeah, it's absolutely priceless. So it's like, I can't even. There's
classic
no way
eyes,
I can't
Spragga.
even. You know
Classic
what I mean?
eyes.
Yeah, man. Love and respect, you know, goes out to Spragga. I mean, is like I say, is very critical to what my journey has been. And he certainly patched a lot of the potholes that young artists would have to navigate. Like, I didn't have to go through some of those, having somebody like, you know, as established as Spragga, especially going through some of those several gates that you're talking about. So, you know, Spragga was my visa.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, to pass a lot of those gates. Yeah, absolutely. Even if he wasn't present, like, yo, man, a Spragga youth, you know, that kind of vibe. And so, yeah. And
exactly.
Then, of course, you know, marrying that as well with the work that you are doing, you know, at the same time for yourself. Because people be like, yeah, man, a Spragga youth, him bad. You know what I mean? It's not just Spragga youth, let's tolerate him. Jesus is awful. so so the two really went together, and
so that must have been
vibes.
a great moment, man.
Of course,
that must have been a great moment.
Means a lot to me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man.
And Spragga's on the album as well.
Great.
Which once again means more than just a feature.
For real, man. Yeah, and rightfully so. And like, from those treacherous early days where nothing was a given to like,
and still is. Like, you know what? That's also a powerful realization that I had. That for a while I used to subscribe to the narrative of, oh boy, you're too talented, you now get the ratings why you forget, blah blah blah. And then I woke up one day and I realized, guess what? There is no such thing as the ratings why you forget. You know what I mean? Like, this music don't owe nobody nothing.
Exactly.
The world don't owe anybody anything. And I've been fortunate enough to be doing this music that I love so much and to be able to pay my bills and keep the lights on for almost 20 years. Now, how dare me? Complain about that. Give thanks.
For real.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just awesome.
It's great to have you back in such a positive place, baby. Inspiring, man. Look, the music is going to reflect that.
Yeah, it sounds
powerful,
amazing,
man.
It's amazing. Happy to be here.
Straight out of the gate, winning right now. It said it all and works on every level, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It works on every level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Give
man.
thanks.
Sasco family.
Mad.
Thank you, family.
Love and respect. Yeah.
Shout out to Dennis from Funky back in the day, baby.
Back in the day.
Yeah, man. Day one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, man. It's so good to see you so upbeat, man. It's inspiring, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and it sounds like you was in a bad place.
Yeah,
let's be
for
quite
a while.
honest.
Yeah.
It sounded like you weren't in. You weren't in a good place, man. It sounds like you went through some darkness to get to where you are now, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so yeah, like if I'm to talk about the fullness of it, like, I mean absolute darkness. I'm talking about, like, my wife would be in another room crying because I'm locked up in one of the rooms just like for days, just laying on the couch, just like.
Oh man, you
like,
was pissed.
I went through it, but
oh my god. Oh my god.
And you know what?
In a room with the lights out, you was in a like a sunken place.
You know what? And you know what? I recognize that coming straight out of that, nothing materially changed about that situation.
No, it's just outlook, just you.
Yeah.
Like, you brought that onto yourself and you got rid of it.
And guess what? Like, I'm saying, like, no, you find that, like, even just, talking to people and, just like, that casually, yeah, go on, Ray. And, people start to get comfortable a little bit and then them start to share, what's happening. A lot of people are, if not so far in that place, but close to it at various levels. And I'm saying, boy, if I can, be benefiting from just a change in my perspective, like, I really want to share that with people, like 100%.
I tell you, man, I really believe in my life, if you look at somebody swimming out to sea and they're waving at you, you don't know if they're waving at you because they're having a great time or they're waving at you because they're drowning.
Exactly. Perspective.
Some people out there drowning, fam, and they're having a bad time.
Trust me. And you know what? We're in a time now where we have new phenomenons that we still are not yet sure how to deal with them. Because think about this. I'm 35 years old, and when I was young, Jetsons had cell phones. The Jetsons. It was a cartoon. It was so ridiculous that it was only cartoons that, I'm talking to you and you're in another country.
Yeah.
And now we have, like, video phone and
It's the maddest.
and so we have realities that we still haven't figured out how to deal with as people. And so with social media now, and you have all this content coming at you all the time, is that like, remember, growing up you could take yourself away by just going in another room and probably putting some music on, and you were away from everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But now most people, the first thing they do when they wake up, boom, is check the feed. So
you're lost without your phone.
So there's a lot of content coming at you, and to navigate all of that, like, we haven't developed the tools.
What do you think made you, like, get in a sunken place?
Well, a combination of things. Starting with, I think, the things that we all, have to deal with. And so everybody's having their experience going along, right? But I feel like, in general, human beings kind of take on some bad habits that are not functional in terms of keeping you on a certain level.
Absolutely.
So you start to feel sorry for yourself. You start to not be grateful. You start to feel entitled to things that you have no business being entitled to. Just so many different things. You lose sight of what is important not only to you, but what is truly important in the scheme of things. You know, so many of those things,
and you could have high moments, and when you come off those high moments, because they do not last forever, those high moments of like...
No, but here's the thing, right? How I'm feeling right now is it's not about, it's all, you know, sunflower and whatever. Absolutely not. You know, you still have to, like, life is still happening, right?
It's still a struggle.
But here's what's beautiful about it. You have better tools to deal with the day-to-day. That's all it is. Better tools. So do I get upset? Of course, and I cuss like a sailor. You know what I mean? Like, you know, my friends would tell me I'm a miserable, I'm old. I'm an old, miserable man. You know what I mean? Like, they will tell you. But at the same time, I just have better tools. Like, for example, if I'm faced with a situation, like, I get disappointments like everybody else. So there was a time, even my wife said it to me the other day, like, wow, this would have been a 2-week for you. 2 week meaning it would have taken 2 weeks to process all of that, like just going through it. So, all right, so for example, one of my biggest disappointments last year, and like we're in UK, so it's perfect to speak about this. Boomtown Festival.
Right.
I'm booked for Boomtown, playing at the main stage, the reggae stage. I forget what the name of it was. I was on a tour. We're coming from, I guess, Italy the day before or something, and I'm playing with Dub Acom out of Marseille. So I'm coming from like Italy, let's say, and they're coming from France. So we get and we're arriving on the day of the show. So it's very close, and I get to London, and the driver is there, and it's waiting to take us up to Boomtown, and it's going to be awesome. Oh, it's, by the way, it's like the last show of the tour, and it's supposed to be like the
exactly yeah.
And their flight got delayed, and we're hoping that the time would still whatever. And then, the flight came in, and all right, we're on our way up to Boomtown, and the tour manager is there trying to figure out what time, and time is cutting close, and then I hear like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. They said they'll give you a later time to hit the stage. I'll be like, all right. So we get to wherever Boomtown is up in the sticks, and we get to the hotel and we change, and I'm feeling all upbeat. I'm ready to take it to them, like I'm saying, I mean, get to the venue, get to the stage, Protege is on stage. I can look out and see rolling hills of people. Yeah. And I'm like, when we get up there, I'm going to smash it. We're sorry, you miss your time and you can't perform. No. So that crushing disappointment. Yes. I mean, like, I've been dreaming about this for all my life, but like Boomtown in particular, like for weeks before, when you're preparing and you know what I mean, and
already.
And they said, no, I'm sorry, but we can get you on another stage. I'm looking at maybe, I don't know, 30,000 for, I don't know, like just
untold people,
just rolling hills of people. And they told me, no, you can't perform here, but we can have you on another stage
in the back room.
And so we're driving across the venue, and I'm seeing several setups and things.
And it's just getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
As we go smaller, and I'm still crossing my fingers, like I'm sure we're gonna go over a hill, and it's gonna be like, pow.
Nah,
Brethren, it went from, like, let's say 40,000 people to 400, less than 400, like, I don't know, 200 and something in like some, in some little trees and thing. And guess what? I processed it. I would, like, let me tell you, I was pissed, of course, because a million bad word, but me process it. I was like, you know what? All right, so you miss Boomtown, and then what? So you miss Boomtown, and you're going drop down and dead now. Life continues.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You still have an opportunity to present to someone like, you know what? You don't know who is in this audience at 200. It might be the biggest music exec in the world who decide that Tim Westwood could be. Yeah, you know what I mean?
The money. I'd just be there.
No. I
need to perform because I need to keep this check.
But the thing is, the money was a done deal. Like, we got paid like before, like that was always safe. It was about, this is about the craft, man, and representing and, the music to all these people. And so I processed it, and I went on the stage, and nobody in that audience would ever guess that I was going through it, But so like I said, life is still happening, and you still have to deal with your disappointments. It's just that, no, I have much better tools to do so with. It's as simple as that.
Well, I would have processed the check.
Okay.
Too much for teaching. Oh, thank you, family. So nice to speak to you,
respect.
man.
Likewise.
Thank you. So good to see you.